How you guys doing? I'm N. Sullivan, and before we get into the what ifs today, I'd just like to say yes, it is cloudy, and yes, I am wearing sunglasses, and no, I didn't look at the eclipse with my naked eyes. My eyes are incredibly sensitive to light. I have a condition called photophobia, and being outside yesterday to observe the eclipse was enough to minorly damage them. Nothing severe, I'm not going blind, I'm not going to have permanent damage, but they hurt and they're extremely sensitive. So I'm being especially careful today. Now, today, I don't have a specific topic that I'm going to do or anything like that. I figured we'd have a good day just doing random ones. So, here comes some random what ifs that came out of my head. I'll see you after the cut. Now, whenever I think about random what ifs, I can't seem to get through it without thinking about portals to another dimension. You can do all sorts of things with portals to another dimension. What if you found one? How would you deal with that? Where would it take you? It's another dimension. It could be almost anything. It could be another version of our world. It could be a completely different world. Story I'm currently working on is it's a very, very dark world. You'll find out about that story eventually. Hopefully soon. But where would it take you? What might come through it? What would it look like? What if you found that portal? What would you do? What would your characters do? The possibilities are pretty much endless with a portal to another dimension. I mean, you could change the laws of physics in that other dimension, and nobody could tell you you couldn't, because it's your other dimension. It's all yours to play with. But you got to be careful with that because it has to stick to its own logic. So, just a word of caution about other dimensions. If you're going into one, make sure it has a stable internal logic. Unlike the real world. So, what would you guys do with it if you found a portal to another dimension? Coming in at number 2 on my list of randos, of Todds, is what we call them. My second Todd is, what if you were transported, or your characters, or your character, was transported to a different time? It could be any time. It could be the future, it could be the past, it could be 5 minutes from now in either direction. It could be 1,000 years from now in either direction. What if they went to the future? What would be there for them? What if they went 10,000 years into our future, like in the time machine, or 8,000 years, I think he went into the future, and humanity had evolved? What if he went into the past when humanity hadn't yet evolved? What if he was 5 minutes in his own past, or her own past, or their own past? Would they be able to change anything? All the classic time travel problems come into play here. But would that be enough time to fix something? This one has been covered a lot in science fiction. It's been covered in movies and TV shows and books and short stories and comic books right across the board. But there's always something new you can do with it. You can always ask what if and then insert all of your own ideas into that, especially with time travel. I mean, Doctor Who has been making time travel exciting for 50 some odd years now, and they never seem to cross their own line, which is very impressive for the amount of time they've been doing the stories. But what if you could travel to the future? What if you could travel to the past? Have fun with that one. That one can go just about anywhere. A lot of you guys may not know this, but apart from being the Mad Prince of Mystery, I'm also the Nicholas Sparks of science fiction. And that leads me to what if, or Todd number 3. The third Todd is one that came to me today, and I think it could lead to some very interesting interpersonal stories rather than big epic things or great adventures. And that's, what if your character met the love of their life, but they couldn't touch them, ever. For whatever reason. You can come up with your own reasons. You could do an illness like the boy in the bubble. You could do some kind of class separation within the society. You could do some kind of phase shifted interdimensional thing like Todd number 1 had. You could do anything you want with that. Those are just a few off the top of my head. But they could see each other, they could talk, but they could never have physical contact. That leads to so many opportunities for triumph, for sadness, for all of these interpersonal things that you could really get a lot of meat out of. And that's a very interesting concept to me. What if they were a hologram? What if, like in the movie She, it was an AI of some form? I mean, just across the board, thank you to the guy with the ladder up the street, who has no sense of decorum at all, that I happen to be working right now. But you could really do just about anything you wanted with that, just like all the other what ifs. You guys do what you want with them. Have fun with them. Explore all these new worlds. Because every single one of these what ifs and all the branches that come off of them is a different world that you could create. And that's the great thing about writing and about what ifs, is you can do just about anything with them. And having a character who cannot touch the person that they love more than anything in the world is such a massive what if. What would you do in that situation? What would the people you care about think of you? You know, and the people who care about you, what would they think of this situation? You know, would there be fights and arguments about you should just let it go, or, you know, fight for true love and figure it out, and all of these sorts of things? And that doesn't just apply to the genres I write in, sci-fi, supernatural, and mystery. You could make a straight up romance out of it, and I have no problem with that. You do you. But take it, run with it. I think that one could be a lot of fun. It's the one I'm actually spending the most time on in this video, because ideas are coming to me as I'm talking to the camera. Hello. So enjoy that one. Have fun with it. It's about 500,000 degrees out here, so I think this is going to be my last what if for today. See you in a second. Well guys, that's all for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and a comment. Feel free to subscribe. That's on the end cap, the end screen there. Facebook and Instagram and links to all my books are in the description right down there. And everything else is on the end cap. Check out the rest of this series. Support me on Patreon. That's a huge help. Or subscribe to this video. And until next time, keep writing, enjoy life, and I'll talk to you later.